Good morning. I just wanted to take a few moments and ask for your financial support for Liberty Is Essential PAC and explain how we're going to use the money we raise over the next 9 months to have a positive impact on the 2022 Indiana general election. You see, it's time for change. I think we all know that. We have election integrity issues, and we have a Secretary of State's office election that will have a huge impact on what progress we're able to make in our election integrity efforts. Because as we all know, the Secretary of State's office is the one that controls and manages Indiana's elections. I personally am supporting Jeff Maurer, the Libertarian candidate. He is not yet our nominee, but I believe he will be, and we'll be voting on that at our convention the first weekend in March. And I fully support Jeff. I count him as a personal friend and also as someone who I believe understands the importance of the integrity of our elections and is focused on the right things to do to bring that ethical integrity back to the Hoosier State. The three things that he is most focused on from an election perspective: making sure that every vote is cast on a paper ballot, or that every machine at least has a paper ballot backup, that every voter receives a receipt of their vote so they know that the vote that they cast is the vote that's getting counted, and that all elections in the state of Indiana receive an independent audit prior to certification so that we know that the votes we cast were counted accurately and correctly. And so I'm supporting Jeff Maurer for Secretary of State, and I hope you will as well. But that's not all that's going on 9 months from now in November of 2022. We're going to be voting on 100 state representatives and 25 of the 50 state senators. Now, as we know, there are many issues related to individual rights, individual sovereignty, if you will, the importance of citizens having a voice in limited government, and almost all of those are being ignored by the General Assembly right now. And they're focusing on what Governor Holcomb and the Indiana Republican Party need to promote in order to get more leverage with corporate America. And so what we're going to see, we'll see primaries in May where there will be efforts made to primary out the elite establishment status quo office holders in the Indiana General Assembly. And I believe that there will be a considerable amount of failure in that effort, because I think we've forgotten that these political parties that are that have taken control of our government, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, they control their party organization and their infrastructure, and they will put forth whom they want to see, not who the voters or the majority of Hoosiers want to see. That's just the way it works. We have to focus on being prepared to provide a full slate of liberty-minded candidates, whether they be libertarians or independents, in that general election. And because of the importance of being prepared and being able to compete on even footing with the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, and being able to get the message out of real individual liberty and individual sovereignty of the citizen, and the fact that government has become way too big and has its claws dug into way too many things in our lives where the founders never intended government to go. I believe that it's important for us to make sure that we have the financial means to help support the message of the candidates who are going to be going down and filing their paperwork and running in the general election in November, just 9 short months from now. And I need your help. I need your financial support. I need for you to donate to the Liberty Is Essential PAC so that we can take that money and we can do mailings and we can get billboards and we can do TV and radio advertising, not only to help support Jeff Bauer's campaign, but to help support the people running for the 100 state representatives and 25 state senators across the great state of Indiana, who are really liberty-minded candidates who want to make change, who want to have school choice, real school choice, not government-controlled vouchers. That's not school choice. Government handing you a check and saying, you can have this money and you can choose whatever school that we say that this is good at. That's not choice. That's still government manipulation of education, and it has to stop. We need true school choice where parents can find affordable, quality, individualized education opportunities for their children, regardless of their income status. And the government doesn't accreditate those schools. We need private accreditation. We need real, genuine, non-government interference, educational choice in the state of Indiana. So I hope you'll join me in supporting candidates who support that. We need constitutional carry in the state of Indiana, and we need state representatives and state senators who will tell Governor Holcomb, no, we're not going to listen to you. We're going to listen to the citizens. And more importantly, we're going to listen to the Constitution of the state of Indiana that says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means that citizens of the state of Indiana do not have to say, Mother, may I carry a handgun? You see, the fee isn't the problem. Yes, they eliminated the fee, but they still require the Mother, may I? And it's time that stopped. James Madison gave us permission when he put it in the Second Amendment. That's all the permission we need. He acknowledged that we have the natural right to protect ourselves and our families and our property against an oppressive government that thinks that it owns everything. And we have the right to tell it no. And it's time that people in Indiana were provided with representatives who actually believe that and don't just say it. So I hope you'll help me support candidates that believe in constitutional carry, believe in the Second Amendment as it is written, and will ensure that Hoosiers don't have to go to the government and say, can I please have my natural, unalienable right back, please? Frankly, that's just BS. It's time we fix that. And if we can't get representatives in the Indiana General Assembly with some backbone, then we need to flush out the ones that are there and put ones in there that will. And I hope you'll join me. And I hope you'll support Liberty Is Essential PAC, because we need to fix education in Indiana, and government education is not the answer. We need constitutional carry, and we need real constitutional carry. We need a state government that will get out of healthcare, it will get out of education, it will give us our unalienable rights back. And I am going to support, and Liberty Is Essential PAC is going to support candidates who mean business, who are serious, who will stand up against the status quo, elitism, progressive, Republican supermajority. And notice what I said, progressive Republican supermajority. These people, these Republicans in the Indiana General Assembly, have no right to complain about Democrats being progressive, because the Republicans are as progressive as the Democrats. They just talk a different story so that they can get your vote, and then they go down and they do exactly the same thing that Democrats would do. And I've said for several years, with Republicans like that, no wonder we don't have very many Democrats winning state office in the state of Indiana. You don't need to elect a Democrat to get progressive policy in state government with the Republican Party we have in Indiana. It's time for change. We need to stand up. And when somebody looks at you and says, but if I don't vote Republican, we'll get a Democrat, look at them and say, no, if you don't vote Republican and you vote for a liberty-minded candidate, we'll get good government, is what we'll get. Because we need change. And if you keep voting for the people you're voting for, you'll keep getting what you're getting. To get change, you have to change your vote, and you have to mean business. And frankly, you've got to reach in your wallet and you've got to donate. You've got to go to libertyisessential.us/donate and donate to Liberty Is Essential PAC, so that we can get out here and we can do the things necessary to help the right people get elected. Without your help, we can't do it. The establishment, elite progressives, either in the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, either one, have deep pockets because they're connected to people who want to control and manipulate government and control and manipulate you. And the only way that changes is if we can meet them and match them dollar for dollar. And that's an uphill battle, folks. That's a lot of money to try to raise. But I'm here to tell you that we're going to do everything we can to go out here and fight against the elite establishment, progressive Republican supermajority, and the Democrats in the General Assembly. And we are going to fight for change. It's time. And I encourage you, I beg you, don't just sit there and go get them Rainwater. Give me some fuel for my train. I need your donation. I need that money so that we can go out and do what we need to do. I appreciate you taking the time to listen this morning. This is a difficult subject, and trust me, it's hard to beg for money. It's not easy, but it's something that we have to do. We need your financial support. We need your help, because the only way to overcome the money of the progressives and the elites and the lobbyists and the corporate influence is to have money that you can spend to spread the message of liberty. And that's what we intend to do. Thank you so much. Again, you can donate by going to our website at libertyisessential.us/donate. Thank you so much and have a great weekend.